long before the ocean knew our name. The river taught us how to listen.
When Mansa Abu Bakr II launched his fleet, he did so with dreams of distant lands.
The hulls remembered salt and stars before ever they chased a horizon.
They charted rivers, then turned their charts toward the Atlantic.
They challenged the currents, the way children challenge a river's flow.
Under constellations that knew no border, they whispered prayers to sea and sky. The ocean's wrath would come, but they understood fear as salt.
They carved their faith onto wood, so it would speak across water.
After nights of silence, they saw land and wondered whose it was.
They were the first to see us. Their eyes held welcome and caution.
We traded more than goods, we traded greetings from different worlds.
They did not claim land. They paused at its edge.
They came forward, carrying peace in silence. Two nations uncreated by coin or conquest, meeting in dawn's first light.
They recognized the same need to name: sea, shore, soul.
They followed the river inland, carrying salt in their veins. They compared tools. What each knew, each could teach. They spoke by torchlight, voices low, each listening to the other's ancestors. They traveled further inland, under forest shadows older than any king.
They sowed not conquest, but curiosity and growth.
The youngest among us saw no border in laughter. I tell you this as one who remembers how stories cross water.
For a time, the shore held both worlds in tension.
The same sky watched them, no matter which shore they stood on.
They parted ways at sunrise, planting memory in soil and song. The emperor who had everything chose to chase the unknown. Before he left, his people sang the song of farewell, not mourning, but faith. They charted the river to its mouth and asked, "What lies beyond the horizon?"
Empire became a harbor for dreams.
It was said 1,000 ships were built. Only the sea would count them. He offered the land a promise trustworthy, that he would return with new knowledge.
They begged him not to go. "A king does not chase horizons," they said.
But he answered, "A king who never leaves his throne learns nothing of his kingdom."
So began the greatest voyage ever forgotten. They left the river's calm for the ocean's heart.
Their songs were maps for the soul.
The ocean demanded courage in exchange for passage. He refused to turn back, even as the wind tried to erase him.
The sea had taken many, but not their will. The living world whispered, "Keep going." Weeks turned to months, and still no shore.
Hunger became their teacher.
Greatness, he said, is not gold, Crane. It is endurance.
The sea keeps its secrets. It also keeps our courage.
Land became a memory, Tole, and then a miracle. They called it the land of second sunrise.
The first meeting was not conquest, it was curiosity.
They spoke no common tongue, but they understood trade.
Different rhythms, same heartbeat.
History forgot this night, but the ocean never did.
Two peoples learned to breathe the same air. Metal met leather. Earth met fire. Skill travels faster than language.
Food became the first shared language.
Their rhythms wove a third song, a song.
They danced not for gods, but for gratitude.
In play, they forgot the ocean that once divided them.
They built one altar for two worlds. They learned the power of listening.
Beauty was their tribute to survival.
They saw each other's souls reflected in the grain of the tree.
They painted unity, not conquest.
The fire carried their vows upward.
The smoke remembers names no chronicle dares to write.
They taught each other how to trust the water again.
Knowledge was their gift and their legacy.
Where trade began, affection followed.
The world had seen a new color, born of courage, not conquest.
He believed the heavens would tell their story when men forgot.
They carved memory into monument.
The earth rewarded their unity. They waited for ships that never came back.
Some stayed, some vanished, but their stories took root.
Even ruins can remember better than kings.
And beneath those trees, history slept, dreaming of rediscovery.
They began to carve what words could not hold.
The face they carved was both familiar and new. One knew the land, one knew the ocean, Kunkrasi. Both knew memory. They gave stone the breath of two worlds. They did not worship it. They remembered through it. Each face was a compass, pointing back to the sea.
Ritual became the bridge that outlived language.
From her hands, heritage grew roots.
Heavens themselves marked the union of stone and story.
Time forgot their names, but not their faces. He called them the ancestors of the dawn. Art became the only surviving witness. To honor those who came from water, they burned the scent of the sea. Generations later, they would still sketch the strangers.
They no longer remembered the names, only the shape of reverence.
Our ancestors left messages the rain cannot erase.
Symbols carry farther than ships.
They even drew the path back home, though no one followed it.
She sang, so the memory would not drown.
They aligned their memory with the heavens.
Strangers returned, different ones this time.
He could not understand how Africa already lived here.
Stone has patience. It waits for those who listen.
Our ancestors spoke through granite, not parchment. Their silence still speaks louder than empire.
Centuries later, others came searching for the same faces.
Science seeks what memory already knew.
The debate began with a question: could oceans ever separate kin?
For some, this theory was a bridge. For others, heresy.
He says the bones tell no African tale.
But he answers. Not all truth lives in bones.
The living argue, the dead remember.
They look for traces too small for myth to hold.
Scenes speak quietly, and not always in the language we expect.
Every current is a possible story.
In Timbuktu's archives, ink still remembers the king who vanished west. Even deserts keep secrets under sand.
My grandmother said, Black men came from the sea and left their drums with us.
Two kinds of truth rarely meet in the same room.
But a new generation no longer chooses sides. They choose connection.
They challenged history's gatekeepers with courage and citation.
Sometimes the evidence hides in symbols, not sentences.
Art continues where proof stops.
Argue about the past, forgetting that memory breathes in the present.
They do not seek victory to vaincranient. They seek recognition.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But sometimes, evidence requires extraordinary courage.
What we call myth may be the archaeology of spirit.
Between doubt and faith lies curiosity.
Those same stars once guided both canoes and theories.
Maybe the question is not who arrived first, but who remembers best. The ocean no longer divides us. It reflects us.
One rhythm, two shores.
The mask remembers what the books forgot.
Beneath the ocean, the lost fleet still sails in silence.
Children dream what history denied. Dreams, too, can travel by current. Our ancestors walked the same edge, one leaving, one arriving.
When rhythm returns, memory awakens.
Two oral traditions, one heartbeat.
The earth keeps archives no library owns.
Hands across millennia still reach for one another.
We gaze upon our own echo.
Even the desert kept receipts of wonder.
The stars above Africa are the same that once guided them to the Americas.
Every dance is a prayer to remember.
The water carries greetings between grandmothers.
Small things sometimes bridge vast truths. Some prove, others preserve. Both serve memory.
Two elders, one story, finally told. History is not a straight line. It is a circle drawn by tides.
They spee through wind, for no border can silence air.
The future carries every face the past tried to forget.
Between sea and soil lies our shared beginning. We were never strangers, only separated storytellers.
The ocean remembers, and through it,
so do we.